Hey guys, this is Julia Carty. I am a Diamond Ambassador here with Plexus, and I'm so excited that tonight we have a very special guest. It's Miss Jennifer Pickett, and she is an Emerald Ambassador and a dietitian, which I know for me, I send every single prospect a Jennifer Pickett video. She doesn't know it probably, but she has helped build my business because as most of you know that you're on my team. I love training. I love sharing about the business. I love our products. But honestly, my brain, I don't understand as much as Jennifer. She's just a lot smarter than me. So I was really excited when she mentioned about doing a call, me doing a call, and I was like, oh, and you can do a call for me. And we just I did a business call for her last night, and she's doing a product call tonight for us. So, you know what, that's one thing I love about Plexus is that we are one Plexus, and that we can use each other's strengths to help our teams. And she is a level 1 to Celeste. And you might have to tell a little bit of your story, Jennifer, because I don't know how you know Celeste or anything. And I know she has Alabama ties too, because she has an Alabama team. So I'm going to give it over to you, Jennifer. And then I'm actually tonight going to ask her some questions. Many of y'all sent me questions to ask Jennifer, but I'm going to let her tell just a little bit about herself before we jump in.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so excited to be on this team call because I know a lot of you on Julia's team, and I love this team. And, like Julia said, there's just something amazing about the friendships that come out of Plexus. You know, the way we all kind of like join forces and help each other. So, what my team had such an amazing response to Julia's little presentation on our team call last night. She did a phenomenal job. You guys are so fortunate to have her as your leader. So I'm excited to get to spend time with you guys tonight. So I am a dietitian. I have a master's degree in human nutrition. So you can imagine I was super crazy skeptical when I encountered these Plexus products on Facebook. I assumed that these products were full of junk like all the other supplements that are out there, and I was wrong. I knew Celeste Gwynn from church. I trusted her. She was a friend of mine, and I was absolutely ashamed of her when she started posting about Plexus on Facebook. It seemed very, very out of character for her. And my first response was probably a little bit snobby. I thought, I'm the expert. What is she doing talking about health and wellness? And then I thought, she should be ashamed of herself. I'm sure this is full of crap. And so, but I was at a really desperate point in my life. I had just lost my mom, and I was so desperate to feel better. And so I decided that even though I was skeptical, I was desperate enough to feel better and to get my health back on track, because I was really feeling like the odds were stacked against me when it came to family medical history. So I decided to try the products in secret, and I did that. And I liked what I saw. I liked how I felt. So I started feeling better during the day, avoiding afternoon crashes, avoiding those frequent headaches. Over time, I loved how strong my immune function was, and I wasn't dealing with the allergies and the sinus infections that I had been dealing with. Over time, I was able to completely wean myself off of sleep medications. So I loved being able to get a good sleep at night and not having to rely on medications. That was probably one of my biggest benefits. The other benefit that was really big for me is that I was able to resolve some bathroom issues. So we could say lack of bathroom issues. That might be a better way to put it. So that was an issue that I was able to resolve. So I was very grateful for that. Lost some weight in inches. But y'all, in my mind, this was network marketing, and I'm a dietitian, and I thought, I can't do this. So I really wrangled with that for 6 months. You want to know a stupid mistake? That was it. I sat on this for 6 months. I agonized about it. I prayed about it. I researched it, but 6 months was entirely too long. But finally, I realized okay, I know these products can help others. And so that's when I started promoting these products. And it has been my absolute dream job. I love helping others get healthy. I just can't believe I get paid to do this. I mean, because this is what I love to do anyway. But I'll tell you that anyone can do this. You don't have to be able to explain the science behind the products. I would say you just have to be passionate about helping others, because this is a health and wellness company, but it's all about helping others. So I'm just glad to be with you guys tonight.
Thank you, Jennifer. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and we have several questions, and I want to make sure we get through them tonight. So I'm just going to start from the top, and we're going to respect her time, and there will be a cutoff. But Jennifer, can you tell us what products do you typically recommend? What's that schedule look like, and why?
I love the triplex combo. I like the triplex combo of Plexus Slim, ProBio 5, and BioCleanse because it's addressing 3 of the most common root issues that are really causing health problems. So those most common root issues are blood sugar instability, inflammation, and poor gut health. So with the triplex combo, you're addressing all 3 of those issues. So the Plexus Slim is going to help someone's body work efficiently. It may promote a healthy blood sugar. This is absolutely crucial. So that is our cornerstone product. I'm so grateful for that product. Now, what I love about this is that you can drink Plexus Slim. I realize the package says, 30 minutes before breakfast. You actually have some flexibility. So you can drink that. I prefer to drink mine in the morning, okay? I like to mix it up in room temperature water, and I drink it within an hour of mixing it. So I request that, once you mix it up, don't stretch it out over all day. Go ahead and drink it and get it done. Personally, I like mine over ice. So it depends on the time of day that I drink mine, but if I typically drink it sometime in the morning. Okay, and so that's when I like to drink mine. As far as the ProBio 5 and the BioCleanse, when I wake up in the morning, I take 2 BioCleanse, and then I will take 2 more BioCleanse in the late afternoon. If I happen to forget, I will take it at night when I take my ProBio 5. Now, guys, it's so important that you're consistent, but you have to find what works for you. For me personally, I am it's out of sight, out of mind person. So it needs to be like in my line of vision. So my ProBio 5 is on my nightstand. So I take it every single night. When I travel, here comes my ProBio 5 bottle, and it's on my nightstand no matter where I'm at. And that way I'm going to see it before I turn off the lamp, and I'm going to make sure I take it before I go to bed. BioCleanse, I actually have 2 bottles so I can, have it in 2 places. I've got 1 bottle that's on my nightstand, and I've got 1 that's by my toothbrush. So that way I can take it first thing in the morning. So that's how I take my triplex combo. Now, obviously, I'm on a few more of the supplements than just the triplex combo. Love the multivitamin. Everybody must be on a multivitamin. It just fills in those nutritional gaps. I take 2 X Factor in the morning with the 2 BioCleanse. I also take Mega X. Mega X is our omega fatty acid supplement, and I take that at night with my ProBio 5. So again, my Mega X is on my nightstand. So I just have to have it where I can see it, and I've just established some really good habits, and this has enabled me to be consistent. So everybody can be a little bit unique and different. There's no hard and fast rules here, but I would say what's most important is helping someone find a routine and creating those habits so that they can be consistent, and that consistency will lead to success.
Good. Okay, so I know everybody's thinking that I'm going off script. So there's no issue of taking a BioCleanse with an X Factor or BioCleanse with a probiotic. It's not going to flush those things out of us, right?
No. We have not seen that at all.
Okay. So how do you suggest, many of us have customers who have IBS or stomach issues, and we notice if they have to go very slow so they don't have upset stomachs. Like, how do you guide those customers to start the triplex? Do you have a certain schedule? start people slow?
Yeah, what I do is I treat everyone as an individual. So, guys, this is something we have to keep in mind that you have to treat everyone as an individual and realize there is not a one size fits all. So that's why sometimes when you hear us talking about these amazing products, we don't have these like hard and fast rules because everybody's body is unique and different, and there's not a one size fits all, especially when you're talking about a health condition like irritable bowel syndrome or IBS, okay? And everybody's body is so very different. So everybody's IBS is going to be very different. Now, what we know, first of all, is that it's very important to restore the healthy bacteria, try to start reducing the yeast overgrowth and healing the gut with the ProBio 5. The Bio Cleanse, the body's going to take a little bit of adjustment to that, okay? So, and it's going to have they're going to have some effects from the Candida die-off as well. So we just want to go super, super slow with those people. So what I like to do is they can drink their Slim sometime in the morning, and then at night before they go to bed, use one ProBio 5 and one Bio Cleanse and start very, very slowly, and then really educate them, hey, you might feel worse before you feel better, but also like tell them, say, look, we're going to see what works for you, okay? So work with me, communicate with me, and we're going to find the best strategy that works for you and your body. So I'm here for you. We're going to do this together.
Thanks. Okay, so question number 2. I think we all have had these customers and ambassadors that come to us and say, you know, I don't care a thing about gut health, you know, probiotic, whatever. I just want to lose weight. I just want to lose weight. So what do you recommend for those people?
That is such a good question. And I'm going to be honest, I have recently started changing my strategy a little bit because we have to understand, even though I am huge on gut health, and we've got to heal our gut. That's a huge obstacle when most people are trying to lose weight. We also have to realize who we're talking to. Take that customized approach and realize some people may not be able to go through the die-off. Okay, so let's get them feeling better. Let's help them see a little bit of weight loss, and then maybe they can add ProBio 5 and Bio Cleanse down the road. So what you would want to do is use the Slim, Lock, and Edge combo. If somebody is in it for weight loss, number 1, you can't skip Slim. Slim is helping your body work efficiently. It's stabilizing your blood sugar. When your blood sugar is stabilized, what that means is that the body is naturally going to turn to the fat stores and burn those as a means of energy. When your blood sugar is unstable, when it's going up and down, your body is going to hold on to fat stores. So we need the Slim to help our body work efficiently and to help our body burn fat. But also, we have to understand, even if we're eating super healthy, we're not going to be perfect. And so that's why we really like this little secret weapon. Do y'all have this in your purse? Right. Nod your head. You need this. We're entering into sugar season. Beware, beware. You've got to have this. Everybody needs this. We're about to get into the holidays. So this is our new and improved block. I say new and improved because they tweaked it just a little bit. Used to, we had to wait 30 minutes. We forgot. We didn't take it. I mean, it was just kind of a mess. So now it's been reformulated. It's a quick release capsule, so your body absorbs it very quickly. It contains chromium, white kidney bean extract, and NC2 brown seaweed blend. It blocks up to 48% of your starch and your sugar. You can take this 2 times a day. So you can take it before you take 2 capsules before 2 of your biggest meals. So I would say that is a very, very powerful weapon for someone who is trying to lose weight. Let's absorb those starches and those sugars. Let me address a couple of these questions real quick. Can Hashimoto's patients take block? I would say yes, but might have to do some more research on that. Is block okay for pregnant and nursing moms? I wouldn't do block for pregnant or nursing moms. Your body still can get some very valuable nutrients from carbohydrates and starches. So I would say no for pregnant and nursing moms. And for a nursing mom, that should be okay. But for a pregnant mom, I would say no. And again, our answer always, if someone's asking us these tough questions, we are not doctors. We are not doctors. So we want to make sure that if someone's asking some tough questions, they need to check with their doctor, or they need to check with their pharmacist if they're asking about interactions with other medications. Another question is, how does Slim help someone who does not need to lose weight? Even if someone does not need to lose weight, their body still needs to have their blood sugar maintained in a fairly narrow range for the body to work efficiently. The problem is that sometimes when blood sugar is dipping real low, the body turns to muscle, and it's burning muscle as a form of energy, and that's not good. So that is why sometimes we see people actually gain weight on Slim. They've been underweight, they start Slim, and then their body starts working efficiently, and they actually put on weight because that's what their body needs. So this is all, again, you don't have to be able to explain the science. This is just about the body working efficiently. So let's not get hung up on the name, and a lot of people have. This is about the body working efficiently and the body feeling good. When your body's working efficiently, you feel good. So that's kind of my 2 cents on why does Slim help someone who does not need to lose weight.
And we had a private question, and someone asked, is it the brown seaweed that makes you potty, poop?
I wouldn't say, I haven't noticed. Okay, so we're going to get all kinds of good details, good juicy details tonight. So are y'all ready? Everybody's had their dinner, right? The old block, I could only take one, and it kind of made me bloated, and sometimes it would stop me up and I wouldn't go to the bathroom. I have not had any issues with the new and improved version. They reduced the white kidney bean extract, and I think that's why. But again, everybody's body is a little bit different. And sometimes when you're trying a new supplement, it takes your body a little bit to adjust. So you have to play around and see what works for you. But I wouldn't say that it's the brown seaweed blend that causes someone to go to the bathroom. But those ingredients in combination is what is combining forces to help block the sugar and starch absorption.
Thank you so much. I love block. So number 3. Okay, so this is really people like me that never really took a probiotic before Plexus. How do we know how many probiotics and BioCleanse people should be on? We always hear, up your probiotic, or you should take 4, you should take 2. So how do I decide what's best for my customers and even for myself? And when is it time to decrease? If I'm up to 4, when do I get to go back down to 2?
I would say this. Okay, so a few things I want you guys to keep in mind. When we talk about a healthy gut, a healthy GI system, what that looks like is 80% good, healthy bacteria and about 20% bad organisms like fungus and yeast. Well, the problem is that ratio is typically reversed in people. The ratio is reversed. There's not enough healthy bacteria. There's an overgrowth of fungus and yeast because of our lifestyle and our environment. So let's consider a few things. If you've ever taken an antibiotic, it wipes out your healthy bacteria. If you have ever had to use steroids, it feeds a yeast overgrowth. It's like putting fuel to a fire. If you have a standard American diet, guess what? It is feeding a yeast overgrowth. A standard American diet has a lot of simple carbohydrates, dairy, sugar, alcohol, all the antibiotics and hormones that we get in our meats and our dairy products. That feeds a yeast overgrowth. So it's really easy to see how all of us, even our children, have not enough of the good stuff and an overwhelming number of the bad stuff. So the only thing that's going to resolve this is taking a high quality probiotic. Now, the problem is that most probiotics, they restore the healthy bacteria, kind of, sort of, but that's it. What makes Probio 5 unique and different is that it's restoring the healthy bacteria with 5 different bacterial strains. That diversity is very important in the bacteria. But also it's providing enzymes, and the enzymes break down the cellular structure of the fungus and the yeast organisms. So your body can break it down and get rid of it. And the question is, okay, so how do I know like what to do, where to start? So a lot of people consider the maximum dose for Probio 5 as 4. Okay, so if the maximum dose is 4, and guys, there's some people who consider the maximum dose at 6. Okay, again, this is highly, highly individualized. We consider the maintenance dose to be 2. But I would say for a vast majority of people, for them to heal their gut, they've had an unhealthy gut for a long, long time. We can really make that general assumption, okay? So to heal their gut, we need to slowly increase to 4, leave it there for a little while, and then we can back off to 2, okay? We always say slowly increase on Probio 5. Why do we say that? Because it's so powerful. It's got those enzymes. It's killing off the yeast. What happens as the Candida yeast is being killed off, it creates these die-off symptoms because it creates these toxins as it's leaving the body. And that is why it is so important for you to tell somebody you have to set expectations, okay? It is your job to educate and to set expectations and then support them. So what I want you to say, and I try to say it at least 3 times so they'll get it. You're going to feel worse before you feel better. Hey, I just want to remind you, this is going to work, but you're going to feel worse before you feel better. So guys, I say that at least 3 times so that they get it. I want them to be prepared, but I also want them, and then I'll say something like this. This is going to sound crazy, but I want you to embrace it. When you're feeling kind of crummy, that means the yeast is leaving your body. And I want you to embrace it because this is the most important part. We cannot have a health turnaround until we address this first. So I want you to embrace this. I want you to let me coach you through it. And I want you to drink a ton of water. So you've got to prepare them. So that way, when they feel kind of crummy, they're like, oh man, what's happening? Oh wait, she told me about this. Okay, that's right. And that way, when you follow up with them and they're saying, I don't know, I mean, I'm having some diarrhea. This is awful. My tummy's kind of upset. I'm bloated. You can say, okay, do you remember when I told you you're going to feel worse before you feel better? Okay, this is it. We're going to get you through this, but I want you to embrace this part of it because it's the most important part. And remember that you're on the verge of a breakthrough. This means you're on the verge of a breakthrough. So be super positive, but they need to drink a ton of water, an absolute ton of water. So let's talk about how you can do this. Okay. Now, if we have a feeling they're going to have some pretty bad die-off symptoms, a lot of folks like to use the strategy of combining the BioCleanse and the Probio 5 together at night. Because when you combine those two, it can possibly reduce some of the severity of the die-off symptoms. So that is one good strategy. And another good strategy is to make sure they are drinking enough water. If the Probio 5 is doing its job and it's flushing this nastiness out, we need the water there to help flush it out completely. When we follow up with them, we want to make sure they are eliminating. If they're having a little bit of diarrhea, it's okay. Like we need it out. We need it out. They've got to be going at least once or twice a day to the bathroom. So one of the questions is, will too much Probio 5 cause stomach pain? It can, because of that yeast die-off. What if they won't drink enough water? Guys, here's the thing. We have got to stop looking for a quick fix. Plexus is not a quick fix company. If your customers want a quick fix, they can look somewhere else. We're not it. We're going for long-term health results, and people are sick and tired of being sick and tired. But they need to be sick and tired enough to commit to this. And there should not be any of this, well, I can't drink any water. Okay, then you might want to wait. Why don't you wait, and then you start when you're ready to commit to this. So they've got to be willing to commit. Let me give you some statistics. It takes 90 days for cells to regenerate. For some cells to regenerate, 90 days. It can take 6 weeks to 6 months for your gut to heal. 6 weeks to 6 months. What I'm trying to tell you is this can take some time. If we're talking about healing our gut, this can take a little bit of time. Now, some average folks, this may be a walk in the park. It's not a big deal at all. I've got folks on my team. I did a great job of saying, hey, you're going to feel worse before you feel better. I just want you to be prepared. And then lo and behold, like 3 days, and they felt miraculously better. You're going to have those. And then you're going to have some that wimp out. Okay. I would say, with regard to die off, let me cover a couple of things, and then I'll get to some of these questions on the side. Remember that the candida cells do create toxins as they're being killed off. You never, ever, ever do a loading dose of Probio 5, ever. You slowly increase. If it's getting unmanageable, if it's getting miserable, then you can back off a little bit. Okay. Always increase water. Make sure they are going to the bathroom. And then what a lot of folks recommend is to help aid in that detox process. Some people take like 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C. Some people will use milk thistle. Some people will use like Epsom salt baths. Some people use oil pulling, where they put like coconut oil in their mouth and swish it around for about 20 minutes or so. And that's kind of drawing some toxins out. Some people will use a tongue brushing. Again, that's getting some of the toxins off. Some people will use like skin brushing. And that's kind of helping the body, because toxins are released through your skin. So that's helping the body get rid of some of the toxins, the skin brushing. So a lot of people will use some different things to help them get through the die-off symptoms a little bit quicker. But like I said before, this is highly, highly, highly individualized. So tell them from the very beginning, hey, I'm going to coach you through this. I'm going to commit to you. Can you commit to me? And we're going to do this together. So get that commitment from them. And I would love to say there's like some hard and fast rules to know when you go up to 4, when you bump back down to 2. Y'all, there's really not. The other complicating part of this is the fact that your die-off can come in phases. It can come in cycles. So your candida die-off can come in phases and cycles. So that means like you're kind of trucking along, and then like you start to have some die-off and you get worse. Then you get a little bit better, and then your die-off gets worse. So everybody is a unique individual. There's not a one-size-fits-all. But I will remind you of this, and this is something that I struggle with, and I know my team struggles with it as well. This has got to be simple. So that's why I'm not giving you hard and fast rules tonight, because there are no hard and fast rules. It's got to be simple. So just yesterday, a team member messaged me and she said, hey, what do you think about this regimen for triplex? And y'all, it was like this very, very complicated chart with what you take when and moving it up slowly. Like it was so complicated. And then there was like 3 pages of verbiage that went with it. And like immediately I thought, I don't want to read all that. And I'm pretty invested. If it looks too complicated, somebody's going to say, hold up. So a better approach is to say, hey, here's where we're going to start. I'm going to follow up with you in a week, and then we might tweak things a little bit. Okay, so really like staying with them and checking up on them is absolutely crucial. So let me get to some of these questions. Okay, can your 2-year-old take the ProBio 5 and how much? I'm going to give you the company answer because I'm a good ambassador like that, right, Julia? So the company answer is that ProBio 5 is not for children. The only product that we have for children is our X Factor chewable. However, most of us really smart mamas and daddies know a good thing when we see it. And we know that our children need a probiotic. So we use that in our children. So typically young children might use half a capsule. You can open up that capsule and put it in anything. I mean, I've got mamas who put it in bottles. I've got mamas who put it in yogurt or applesauce. So yes, young children can use ProBio 5. Use that to your best discretion. But y'all, let me tell you something. It just makes sense, right? Because your child is probably getting sick. They're taking antibiotics. Antibiotics wipe out healthy bacteria. So our children desperately need a healthy gut because most of your immune function comes from your gut. So they need a healthy gut. Can you split the ProBio up between morning and night? Sure. Again, this is about being consistent and finding what works for them. So for instance, both of my kids take ProBio 5. For a long time, they took it in the morning because that's when we could be consistent because that was part of our morning routine. Now it's part of our evening routine before they get in bed. So you have to find what works for you. But yeah, you can definitely take some in the morning and some in the evening. Can a symptom of die-off be breakouts all over the face, like worse than most teenagers when they've never had skin issues before? Holy moly, yes. Typically, when we see something happening on the skin, it's an indicator of what's happening on the inside. And so a lot of times when we say it might get worse before it gets better, sometimes that's in a variety of things. That could be bathroom issues, stomach pains, that could be skin breakouts, that can be joint pain, it could be flu-like symptoms, it could be headache, it could be nausea. So yeast die-off is a rough thing. But guys, this is what is needed to happen. If we're going to take charge of our own health, we've got to start by healing the gut. It's just the way God designed our body. We have the most effective product out there, but we've really got to coach people through it. And if they're not ready to commit, if they're not ready to drink the water, let's hold off. Maybe we should just use Slim and X Factor first to get them feeling good. Can die-off be delayed? Yes. And like I said before, it can come in cycles and phases. So be aware that it can come in those phases and cycles. I saw one about psoriasis. Wow, y'all got, I'm getting all the questions mixed up. Hang on. The psoriasis and where is that one? Well, okay, this is a great one. Will gut issues hinder weight loss? You better believe it. Now, can you lose weight without healing your gut? Sure, but it's kind of like pushing a big old boulder up a hill. You're going to make a little bit of progress working really, really, really hard. But if your gut is healthy, it's going to be a lot easier. What we know is that if your gut is not healthy, you cannot absorb these amazing supplements. You cannot absorb the amazing nutrients from the super clean diet you're eating. So for those that eat like a 110% clean diet, I mean, they're doing good. They're on it, right? if their gut's not healthy, their body cannot absorb those amazing nutrients. So this is why we always have to heal the gut. But like I said, some people are not prepared. Like they just kind of want some quickie weight loss. So with those folks, feel them out, get to know them and their personality, and you might want to hold off on the Probio 5 and just get them feeling good first, and then we can heal the gut later on. You might even approach it like this. Hey, we're gonna work with you. I know your main goal is weight loss, so we're gonna start here, and then when you plateau, we might change things up a bit. You notice I said when you plateau. There will always be a plateau when you're trying to lose weight. That is very common, but people let it kind of throw them off. So I think that's very important. Let me go back to this other question about the edge. Edge is fantastic. It's fantastic energy. And so what a lot of us have noticed, number one, is giving us that awesome energy that we need to keep going and to keep moving and to keep doing. It has an ingredient in there called theocrine. Theocrine boosts your dopamine levels. When your dopamine levels are increased, that means your stress levels decrease and your motivation to move, to think, and to do are increased. And so we kind of it's a natural mood enhancer. So we feel good, we want to exercise, we want to move, and so we want to get outside and take a walk, right? But also, just honestly, I've noticed just an appetite suppressant effect on edge. Now, here's how I want you to take edge. Edge is a powerful product. It's not going to be for everybody. I love the fact that it just has 3 natural, clean ingredients. It says take 1 capsule. So take 1 capsule, okay? Don't take 2 capsules. Don't take 3. Take 1 capsule and take it on a full stomach. So when I take it, I like to take it after lunch. I have a full stomach. That way I can kind of power through the afternoon. Because let's face it, my Slim has given me what I need. However, some days we just need a little bit extra because we've got a lot going on. So Edge can be a very, very powerful supplement, especially if somebody is already used to drinking energy supplements, those nasty foul energy drinks, then recommend Edge. So that can be a really good kind of combo for weight loss, the Edge, the Block, and the Slim. So do you want to move on to the other questions?
Yes, and I'm going to say we will have Jennifer here till midnight. I love questions, but we did, several of us leaders worked out, I think there's 12 questions. So let us get through those and we will come back. But if Jennifer sees in the corner of her eye something to fit in, obviously it's your call. But this is one that I see on here already, but we had planned it. How do we help a teammate or maybe an ambassador or customer who has been faithful on our products? They've been consistent. They are drinking their water. They say they're exercising, trying to eat healthy, but they're seeing weight gain. Sometimes up to 10 pounds. And sometimes they've been on the products for a couple of years. So what would you suggest to them?
2 things. First of all, I think sometimes our body just needs a reset. It needs a complete reset. And I had to do this recently. I was like, okay, I'm going to boot camp. I'm going to Zumba. Like, I'm just not seeing a difference. Like this, I'm taking my supplements. I'm eating pretty good, but I'm just not seeing that big of a difference. Your body really gets used to what you do. So if you need something different, you've got to do something different. So change it up. So if you've done the same type of exercise, do something different. Okay. If you've had the same pattern for how you've been taking your supplements, change it up. Okay. Change it all up. So this is about tricking your body to get it back in that weight loss mode. And also really look at what you're putting in your body. So let's say you've been pretty good about eating lunch and dinner, but you haven't been eating breakfast, or you haven't been including protein at your breakfast. Well, that's a change that you need to make. What if you started eating 6 small meals a day instead of 3 big meals a day? So whatever you can do to kind of change up, to fool your body, to get it back into kind of a weight loss mode. Kim Wilson Pollock does a 10-day detox. This is based off of Dr. Mark Hyman's book, which is the same thing. It's called a 10-day detox. It is 10 days where you put your body through a detox. It's no sugar, no carbohydrates. There's a few fruits you can have, but not many. It's mostly vegetables, protein, healthy fats. Of course, no caffeine, no alcohol. And so I did this in August before our Hawaii trip. Because I thought, you know what? It's always good. The science behind it is very solid. It's like hitting the reset button on your body. And it's really, even if we're trying to be pretty good, sometimes we've just fallen into some bad habits and we don't even realize it. And our body just kind of needs to be hit a reset button. And so I did this 10-day detox. Y'all, I mean, Lord have mercy. Can I just tell you, first of all, you know it's bad when your children are like, don't ask her, she's doing a detox. Don't ask her. Just get away from mama. Like, it was bad. I was a little bit grumpy and I felt horrible. No caffeine in the morning. Okay. And I do have 1 cup of coffee in the morning. I'm not drinking caffeine all day, just that 1 cup of coffee. But there's just little things that enter in. And that the first 3 days of that detox was rough on my body. But how I felt after that detox was fabulous. My body just needed a reset. It just needed a redo. And we have to realize that. We just kind of get stuck in bad habits. So the other thing that I want to talk about here is also setting expectations with your folks and really educating them that these products, it is about fat loss. It is not about weight loss. Okay. Now, you might be saying, well, I use the scale. Okay. That's part of our problem. A lot of other companies are about weight loss and they're playing around with water weight. So the scale decreases and they're like, I lost weight. Well, it just comes right back on, right? We want to lose fat because we want it to stay gone. We want to be healthier long term. So that is why our products are so effective. It is targeting fat. Because remember, when your body's working efficiently, your blood sugar stabilized, the body's turning to fat stores to be burned for energy instead of storing up additional fat. So we want to prepare people. We want to set expectations and educate them. Hey, this is about weight loss. This is about fat loss. It's not really about weight loss. So because this is about fat loss, I really don't want you to get on the scale that much. I would rather you measure. Be sure and measure. Very, very important. Most people see a reduction in inches long before they see a reduction in pounds. So set those expectations and say, I know this sounds crazy. You're going to think I'm nuts, but I need you to trust me. I want you to take a picture. And I know you're thinking it's not going to work, but just do me a favor and take a picture, because I've noticed with a lot of my folks, their face starts to look different. Now, the scale may not necessarily register anything, but their face looks smaller and that double chin starts to go away. So I want you to tell them that they need to take a before and after picture or a before and during picture, but they gotta have a before picture. We just noticed that people's face looks different. That's never gonna be reflected on the scale. So that's my 2 cents on fat loss and weight loss. Let's go over the scale. Here's the trouble with the scale. It affects you and not in a good way. So let me tell you some things that affect that number on the scale. First of all, you should never, ever let a number define you. It's not who you are. That is not how God made you. God made you so special and so unique. All you have to do is look at your fingerprint, y'all. Nobody has a fingerprint like you. He made you that special and that unique. So do not let a number or a size of clothing define you and define your life. It is not worth it. So sometimes that scale is doing a lot more harm than good. Let me tell you what affects that number. Did you know that the barometric pressure outside can affect that number? If the barometric pressure is low, that means your tissues hold on to water. Okay? So if it's an overcast day, guess what? You're going to be a little bit heavier. Can you control the barometric pressure outside? No. Now, frankly, I don't need to step on a scale because I've got a cute little curly-headed 9-year-old boy, and when the barometric pressure dips, those curls get real tight. So I know rain's coming. So I don't need to jump on a scale or look on a weather app, okay? I can just look at my son's hair, and I know what's going on with the barometric pressure outside. So the barometric pressure plays a role with the number on the scale. The other thing that plays a role is hormones, and it plays a big role. It can fluctuate anywhere from 2 to 6 pounds. 2 to 6 pounds. And that's pretty discouraging, right? 6 pounds is a lot of weight. The other thing that makes us hold on to fluid and makes that number go up is anti-inflammatories. Advil, ibuprofen. That makes your tissues hold on to fluid, and so that makes that number go up. Steroids lead to weight gain and fluid retention. So you see that number reflected on the scale. What about salt? Sodium is another huge culprit. Sodium is going to affect the number on the scale. Did you know that just 3 shakes of the salt shaker, about a half a teaspoon of sodium, can hold on to 16 ounces or 1 pound of fluid in your body? How do you feel when you're walking out of a Mexican food restaurant? I mean, you feel like you need to unbutton your britches, right? I mean, that's just how it is. So that is the sodium. So that's why we really encourage people not to go by that scale. Now, here's my recommendations. I want you to measure. If you are going to get on the scale, I want you to get on maybe once a week, first thing in the morning, right after you've gone to the bathroom, and completely naked, okay? I about flipped out at boot camp one day. This is about 2 years ago, listening to the fitness instructor tell all of these women who are trying to get healthy that she weighs every single morning and every single afternoon. And y'all, I've got so many soapboxes, it got all over me because I thought, how dare you? Because how discouraging is that? What happens when we get on the scale and we see a number that we don't like? What happens? You stop. It affects you because when you see a number on a scale that you don't like, your first thought is, well, dang, I've been working so hard and nothing's happening. I've been eating right. I've been exercising. I mean, but that's not even working. I give up. Even if you don't say the words, I give up, subconsciously, you're not going to be as diligent about the right food going into your body and getting exercise. You're just not. So we have got to, first of all, step away from the scale and realize that it has too many variances for it to be a good indicator of our overall health. And secondly, look at the fact that weight is a huge combination. That number is a huge combination of water, muscle, bone, and fat. Let's focus on fat loss. The other thing that I'll say here with regard to those who are like, I'm just not losing weight. In fact, I'm gaining. Sometimes we fall into really, really bad habits and we don't even realize it. You know, we're busy, we're having fun, we're enjoying life. We don't even realize it. So an example I'll give, had my hair done last week, and Erica's my hairdresser. She's not on my team. She's on someone else's team, but she doesn't really use the products. But we're having a conversation, and she's like, I'm just at that age. Like, I cannot lose weight. I don't know what the deal is. Well, we have this long conversation, right? I mean, and it's pieces of conversation here and there. And then at one point we're talking about how much alcohol is consumed at football games on Saturdays. And she's like, I mean, I can drink like 10 beers. And then she starts talking about this coffee drink that she's just hooked on, this yummy coffee drink from this cute little coffee shop down the street. And she was like, I guess I need to see if they have a sugar-free version. And I'm thinking that won't even help. And then she's talking about, relaxing in the evening with a couple of glasses of wine. Okay, did you hear all of that? That's a lot. And then she's saying, I don't know why I can't lose weight. So sometimes we've got to take a step back and go, okay, the definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over and expecting different results. What do we need to change up? What I have found as I have asked people, hey, why don't you write down a 3 or 4 day food diary? Because they'll tell me on the phone what they're eating. And I'm thinking, wow, that is pretty close to a perfect diet. But the reality is that it's not, okay? They just give me that ideal. If you look at their food diary, if they do that for 3 or 4 days, or you just ask them to do that to hold themselves accountable, they soon find, man, I'm just not doing as well as I thought I was. This week I only exercised twice. I didn't exercise 4 times or 5 times. Ask them how much water they're drinking. Are you drinking enough water? That is the most important part of this. You got to drink enough water. Half of your body weight in ounces. Y'all, sometimes we just get busy and we get going and we're forgetting the basics. So let's get back to the basics. Make sure we're drinking our water. The other part of this is sleep. Are you getting enough sleep? We live in a society where we think we can just go, 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 and we don't have to rest. God designed our bodies very, very specifically. Now, we take it for granted until something goes wrong. But the way God designed our bodies is at night, our bodies are designed to reset and restore. Your body has got to be given enough sleep. What we know is that people who are not getting enough sleep, they're probably not going to be able to lose weight. So your body desperately needs sleep. So I would say those are several of the most important things. The other thing that needs to be looked at is elimination. Are you eliminating? The body can hold on to poop. I think it can hold on. I'm not sure of the stat. I would need to check it. But I think it can hold up to 8 pounds of poop. Oh, my goodness. Y'all, you're miserable. So people need to be going to the bathroom once a day at least. So these things are needed for healthy weight and to lose weight. Finally, I'll say this real quick before we move to the next question, with regard to what somebody is consuming, because this is absolutely crucial. Diet. And when I say the word diet, I don't mean like diet, I can never have that food again. What I mean is a real foods approach. We don't have to make it complicated. We don't have to make it like extremely difficult. A real foods approach. Protein, fruits, and vegetables. Okay? A plant approach. Protein, fruits, and vegetables. What we find is that when somebody is trying to lose weight, they're listening to all these mixed messages, and it's confusing out there, guys. It's very confusing. And they're kind of buying into this low-calorie, like diet food junk. It's junk. It is full of chemicals, preservatives, and when all of that junk goes in your body doesn't know what to do with it. It doesn't know how to process it. And so it is very difficult for your body to release weight when it is confused and inflamed like that. So what we have to do when we're looking at losing weight, we've got to look for obstacles. So what are the obstacles? Instead of just sitting back going, it's not working, I knew it wouldn't work for me, nothing ever works for me. No, take a step back and look for the obstacles.
Thank you. Now, I have to ask this because I noticed you didn't mention accelerator or boost. Do you ever recommend one of those two?
I haven't been right now. I'm not a big fan of boost. I know some are, but I'm not a huge fan of boost. I think I've heard more people say they didn't like it or it caused them to gain weight more than I've heard positive. So I'm not a huge fan of boost. Accelerator, I think, can be very beneficial. There's just so many other products that I want them to use first. Does that make sense?
Yes.
There's just, I mean, y'all, like everybody's got to have the multivitamin. You know, omega fatty acids can play a key role in weight loss. That's Mega X. You know, people need to make sure they're getting protein. We've got the best protein shake there is. So there are so many other amazing, amazing products for them to use before we get to that. And that's a complete shift in how we used to do our business, because most people starting off did Slim and Accelerator.
Right.
But we know a little bit more now. And I think this is a little bit smarter strategy.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I like that. I like that. So we only have a few minutes, so we can be kind of quick on this. Many people are trying to not be constipated, and they seem to still be constipated with their bio cleanse, taking up to 4. I know personally I have to take up to 6 to keep myself going. So do you have any suggestions on people who just can't seem to eliminate regularly, even when they're on the triplex?
Yes. So here's a fun discussion. So in the hospital setting, when I was in the hospital setting years and years ago, we called this bowel habits. And it's kind of training your body to eliminate. And a lot of people's body has not been trained to eliminate. They've always had issues. And this was me. I had always had issues from the time I was a little bitty girl. So my body just kind of didn't know what to do. A lot of times, you know, the bowels get so backed up and you have to do something a little more extreme to get things going. And then once you get things going, it's a little bit easier. So that's why some people are using upwards of 4 BioCleanse, and they're splitting that up during the day, but they might use upwards of 4 BioCleanse, realizing that it might take a little bit more to get it going. Now, an old nursing trick, because I worked a lot with oncology patients and they dealt a lot with this, but an old nursing trick is to use, this is so gross, warmed up prune juice, to drink warmed up prune juice. There's something about the warmth and there's something about that high fiber prune juice that can really help people go to the bathroom. But I would say, like, try to establish some habits for your body. You know, sometimes people get up in the morning, they have a cup of coffee, and that's enough for their body to go, oh, okay, it's time to go. So try to establish those habits with your body when, okay, this is my time to go to the bathroom. And it sounds crazy, but you can train your body to do this. So I would make sure you're drinking a ton of water. A ton of water. But also I would make sure that you're giving yourself time to go to the bathroom. If you haven't been going to the bathroom, guess what? It's going to take you a little bit longer. But once your body becomes used to this, you're going to become more regular and it's not going to take you as long, and you're going to be eliminating appropriately. So BioCleanse is absolutely crucial for everybody, but you've got to find what works for you, and you might have to do a little something extra to get your body in the habit of going.
Okay. Well, we're about out of time. I don't want to keep you longer than an hour. I know we have tons of questions. I'm just going to leave the last couple. We have like 60 seconds, 1 more minute, for you to just kind of finish up and maybe say what you want us to hear. So.
Yeah. Let me address these couple of questions about BioCleanse. I think a great time of day to take your first dose of BioCleanse is very first thing in the morning. I mean, I think it's just great for your body to get used to going to the bathroom first thing in the morning. And I promise you, your body will get used to this and you're going to wake up and be like, okay, it's time to go. That's what has happened with my body. And I'm very, very grateful. And y'all, I still don't take it for granted. I mean, I'm the dork when we were traveling this summer and even in Hawaii, I'm like, hey, guess what? I'm going to the bathroom and we're on vacation because used to, we would go on vacation and I wouldn't go to the bathroom at all. And it was miserable. So the best times to take your BioCleanse, I would say 2 in the morning, 2 in the late afternoon. It is ideal on an empty stomach. Everybody is different. I would say you need to go at least once a day. A lot of doctors will say, and a lot of experts will say, for every meal that goes in, something needs to come out. But I would say, all of our bodies are unique and different, but at least once a day, that's very important. Because if you're not eliminating, your body's going to reabsorb those toxins. The other thing that I would tell you guys, especially with regard to troubleshooting, is meet people where they're at. That is the most important thing. Meet people where they're at. If you start to know them and you know what their hang up is, you can address that directly, but meet them where they're at. There's a reason why Weight Watchers, for instance, has been successful with people. It's because of that support group feel, because there was somebody cheering them on. So do you have to have all the answers and be able to troubleshoot and know all the science? No. Be the best cheerleader. That's the main thing. And so much of this is just highly individualized. And consistency is the most important part. Consistency, but also realizing this is not a quick fix and it takes a comprehensive approach to wellness. A comprehensive approach means I'm not going to sit back and say, we'll see if this pink drink works, and then eat my candy bar and drink my Diet Coke and not bother exercising and stay up late at night, watching my TV shows and not getting enough sleep, and putting junk in my body and eating a bunch of fast food. That's not a comprehensive approach to wellness. What a comprehensive approach to wellness is, I'm going to use my Plexus supplements as a catalyst. I'm not craving sugar, so I'm going to try to stay away from it. And man, am I craving my water. I'm going to slurp down that water and I'm going to move. I know I have got to move. By the way, you want to make a big difference with going to the bathroom. Exercise can really make a huge difference with helping your body eliminate. It just does. So that makes a really big difference. But taking that comprehensive approach to wellness, getting exercise, getting your sleep at night, managing stress. When you are stressed out, your cortisol level goes up. And y'all, it sends all sorts of chaos in your body. It throws your blood sugar out of whack. It makes your body hold on to fat. It moves it deeper inside the body where it's harder to lose. It is amazing what happens when cortisol goes up in our body because of stress. So it is kind of a disastrous cycle. So learning how to manage stress is a huge part of this. And just taking that comprehensive approach, putting the right foods in our body and really avoiding the junk. Not saying we're going to eat perfect, but eating really good 80% of the time, and then not so good, treating ourselves 20% of the time. But taking that comprehensive approach is absolutely crucial. And it's like we have this great secret weapon. Now, obviously, we're not really good at keeping a secret, but using our Plexus products as a secret weapon, as a catalyst to help us reach our health goals and realize it's going to take some time. And if I'm not seeing the results I want, what should I do? Let's change things up a bit. So that's my 2 cents. I hope that was helpful.
That was wonderful. Thank you so much, Janet. My phone's blowing up everybody's saying how wonderful you are. So we really appreciate you. And Jennifer and I are going to do a meeting together sooner than later, and at least Birmingham, maybe even Atlanta. We have that in the work. So all of you that live close to Birmingham or Atlanta, just be on the lookout for that on our schedule. So we're super excited about that. So thank you, Jennifer, for doing this tonight. Sorry we kept you for a little over an hour, and sorry if we didn't get to your question. Please don't bombard her messages, because I know as a Jewel, if we get 500 messages from another team, but if you do have questions, do feel free to ask them on our team pages, because we will get you those answers, we promise. And if you don't know, look her YouTube channel up, Jennifer Pickett. Like I said, I send her videos to all my potentials, all my new ambassadors. They get your videos, so we really do appreciate your knowledge and all your hard work. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And I'm working on some new videos, so y'all stay tuned. I'm working on some new ones.
Thank you. Good night, y'all.